I'm Simon Leydon. I'm the Business Development Manager for the Co-Centre for Climate Biodiversity Water. What does a Business Development Manager do? It sounds quite simple, but a lot of what we do is relationship building and bringing together our academics and researchers here in the university with industry partners and clients, with the aim to basically facilitate more impactful research and also bring in industry cash to support further work. Well, impactful research has a pretty broad interpretation of how you want it to work, but it does mean bringing about positive change through the work of the Co-Centre, mitigating climate change, biodiversity loss and water damage, and that's a lot of what we do, and hopefully the research can both facilitate the needs of industry but also the needs of wider society. Part of what the research impact does is it helps to bring into the real world the kind of nature of the research and what it does, and shows impacts, like I said, on people's day-to-day lives and how it affects us all. I studied economics and geography right here in Trinity. You come out with effectively an arts degree, so you feel sometimes that, well, I can do a bit of anything, but you're not exactly down a vocation. So it is a bit of a decision making. You try and find out what suits you, what's best for you. The graduate programs, to their credit, were really good in helping shape your career and where you want to go and with placements. But it's also a personal decision. You have to think about not only the economics, but what your heart tells you to do and follow that, which I know sounds kind of cliche, but ultimately for the rest of your life it's an important path to follow. When I finished doing economics and geography, I felt it was a bit of a crossroads, so I probably followed more heavily into the economics route. I became a banker, did the graduate program with Bank of Ireland, worked my way up through that, and started working in project finance. So that's actually large-scale finance for infrastructure projects. And from there, started working on utility funding, so for large projects like, solar farms, wind farms, and traditional fossil fuel energy burning. Then I moved to Canada in a life decision, worked with utilities there, a lot of hydroelectric schemes in Canada. And then I came back to Europe, working with the European Investment Bank. And I suppose always in project finance, but the nature of the business was moving more and more towards greening, energy transition, facilitating that. And it's when I was working in that field, I started to realize the impact, again, that my work was doing. And you're a tiny part of it, but you are doing positive things. If you're facilitating the development of a wind farm, you realize how many homes you're providing with clean energy, and renewable energy. And that was part of my transition, I suppose, my own personal movement into renewable energy and climate action. From there, I worked with ESB International, the Irish utility, working abroad, facilitating green transition in other countries and working with the engineers there. And so it was just a natural progression, one thing to the other, to the Co-Centre, doing what we do now. It's very unexpected, the things that happen. Now, especially in the Co-Centre, we work across a myriad of projects. Climate biodiversity water affects all parts of society and industry in our lives. And you come across some really exceptional, talented people, and you work on really exciting, interesting projects. And you develop a wide circle of really knowledgeable people, and every day is like a school day, but in a good way. And you're learning what you can do, what you can apply, and all the small ways that we can try and make a somewhat difficult world a little bit of a better place. And that's what every day, after a long day, I feel that I've done my small part, my small contribution, and that really helps me getting through it. So a lot of that is the unexpected adventure of what you're doing. And for your career and the rest of your life, that's a really important thing to keep.